Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning back in today. You are listening to Society Bites Radio. My name is Jillian Beth, and I'm an intuitive healer and coach on a mission to empower women by reconnecting them to their inner wisdom. And I'm so incredibly grateful to have you all with us again today. We have an awesome second parter, the amazing, happiest, most beautiful Maritza Roxanne is back. And if you missed our show last week, definitely go check it out. She turned the tables on me, guys. She wanted to talk about real estate and finances. We had an amazing conversation. So do definitely check that out if you missed it. Today, we're going to be, I guess, turning the tables back to where I'm used to, which is talking to her and getting just different advice from her because she is an awesome woman and has done a lot of different things. She is the author of a book called Don't F with My Joy. She's done her TEDx talk. She has a podcast, a blog, and apparel, all available on her website, which is IamHappiest.com. And I'm sure you'll hear that more throughout this interview as well. IamHappiest.com. She has a menu on there where she can share her perspective through the happiest lens. And through each option, it's aimed for you to really stay at that level, to level up and to maintain your happiest point. She asks you questions and have you looking through that lens even more, which I think we definitely all could use. So thank you so much for coming back this week, Maritza.
You're so welcome.
Yeah. So now, dun, 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 I get to turn it back on you. Where I must say, at first, I was really nervous when I started this show over a year ago. But I've become so comfortable in this place. It was definitely a bit of a switch when you asked to turn the tables on me for last week. So I'm feeling a little more comfortable. But it was a lot of fun, and I'm just so glad to have you back here this week.
Aw, I'm glad to be back. I can ask questions all day and answer questions all day. So
Yeah.
you let me know.
Very good. Well, we'll definitely go back and forth again on this one. And the goal, as always, is to number one, have fun. We'll talk about happiest. We definitely want to have a lot of fun and provide value. And I love just hearing different women's perspectives on their journey. And, from the little bit of time that I've known you and from the different things I've seen on your website, guys, definitely go check out her website. You are an awesome woman. So, I'm wondering if you could, in a somewhat succinct way, I guess, tell the listeners out there a little bit about like your story. What got you into this I am happiest?
What got me into it? It was chosen for me. So
Yes.
I was born this way.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
And I realized that when I started to grow up a little bit and started to mature a little bit in my teenage years. And
Mm,
I started to notice that other people weren't looking at life the same way I was looking at life. And I was like, wait a minute, how come you guys don't think this way? Or what's going on with your perspective? And how
yeah.
come this is so normal for me to look at life through the happiest lens and actually enjoy life moment by moment? Like,
Mm,
why? How come you guys don't do that? And how do you look at life? And I started to notice the differences. And it became very clear to me that I was born this way and now simply developing those gifts that I was given so that I can share with others and offer it to others.
yeah, it really does exude from you. I mean, from the first moment we talked, which I think is so beautiful, the happiest, the I am happiest, it's a part of your every cell and being. I can say that hands down, just from the amount of time that I've known you. And I relate in many aspects of you saying, like, I was born this way, like this is what it is. And I think that's just so amazing. And the fact that, when you realize there is that contrast, when not everybody looks that way, you're able to have still this open mind and to question, how do you look at things and your perspective. I think that's absolutely beautiful.
Agreed. It allows one to then realize where they can actually offer the gift in the most effective and efficient way.
Yeah. So good. Were there any, I'm sure you've possibly had many. I know I definitely have, but are there any learning lessons that looking back, you're like, oh yeah, that was a profound moment that happened. And it kind of shifted things for you, made you aware of things differently. Any learning lessons you want to share with us?
As it relates to staying at your happiest.
Yes, absolutely.
So, when I was a teenager, I was probably 15, 16 when I got diagnosed with a lump on my breast. And as a teenager, I had like one of the best pediatricians that I still went to as a teenager. And when I got notification of it, and when I went through the surgery for the removal of it and going through the process of quote unquote waiting for the test results to see if it was benign,
Mm.
which means not harmful.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and going through that process between 15 and 16 years old, because it took some time from the notification to the actual result to the actual surgery and everything in between, right?
Wow.
From friendships to parents getting involved to school getting involved, and as a high school student in Brooklyn, New York. So it took some time to complete that process and to
Mm-hmm.
complete that journey. So, and of course, the doctor's appointments and all of that jazz. So, what I realized in that uh, in that experience is that life is so short. Potentially, life can
Mm-hmm.
potentially be so short. It can also be really long, right? But life
Yes.
can potentially be so short that um, that potential by itself, that thought by itself, that reality for a lot of people by itself was for me more than enough inspiration and motivation to look at life through the happiest lens even more.
Mm.
So I was already born with it. I was already given it. Now I'm like, oh, now we're going to a whole other atmosphere with it.
Yes. A whole nother level. I can only imagine. Wow.
Yeah, so it allowed me to see life as something to enjoy even more than I was already enjoying.
Yeah. That's incredibly personal. And so I appreciate you sharing that. And I'm over here listening to you and trying not to cry, because I know, just through conversations that we've had, there's something somewhat similar going on in my life with a family member right now. And I just flash back to that moment and knowing how much life shifts when you're presented with something like that, that the possibility that your time with someone or your time just in life in general could be cut short. It takes everything to a whole new level. The things that are important are amplified. Like you said, another place it goes to. And the things that aren't important, it's so easy to just like, I love you, thank you, but not important. And to focus on and put your energy into what is.
Exactly.
Yeah, so good. One thing I definitely want to find out, because I know you've done a lot of different things in your life as well, just on your specific to like your business life. So, I know you have a website and a book and so many cool things to offer there. Looking back, or not even looking back, but is there any advice that you would give to yourself back then, knowing what you know now?
The short answer is acquire cash flow producing assets that are permanently
Yes.
profitable and permanently increasing at a very early age. And as soon as you can, as soon as you know how to manage money. And
Yes.
so anybody can acquire cash flow producing assets at an early age. But if you don't know how to manage that well and steward it well, then it's unsustainable. So it's best to actually know what to do with money when you actually have it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and when you actually have cash flow producing assets that are permanently increasingly profitable, and
Yes.
it's even better when they're passive and they're residual and they're automated and they're systematized. Like
Yes.
all that jazz is important so that you can do even more with life, so that you can use that tool, which is called money, to create even more positive impact for yourself and for others. And once you know how to financially manage money, that is the short answer.
Mm, a short yet powerful answer. And you said so many. Um, I want to use the word weighted, but I think there's probably a better word. But the extremely profound words like systematized and, ever increasing, passive, like these things that many of us, at least I know, and we talked about this a little bit on the last show where you interviewed me, it's not something that I was taught early on. So was that something that came fairly easy to you, or did you bring people into your life or get into programs like in a general sense? And I know it's kind of a big question, but what did you do to help facilitate that in your life?
So thank God I've been given my God given destiny and became aware of it at an early point in life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that I was then able to set my intentions accordingly after that. So after the awareness of why I'm here and why I'm spending time here in this situation that we're in, and this like atmosphere that we're in, which is not the happiest thing in the world, right? Like the things that are going on in life and the things that are going on in the planet are not the happiest things in the world. And so when I started to become aware of it at an early age, in my opinion, then most people become aware of their destiny. Um, I started to see that cash flow producing assets allow for more creativity,
Mm,
allow for more creation at a larger scale. And sometimes larger scale means the neighborhood. That's it.
yeah.
Sometimes the larger scale means your family, and that's it. And
Mm-hmm.
that's large for a lot of people, including myself. So sometimes it means having a global impact on the whole planet, whatever you define it as large. Point is that it feels large to you.
Yes. 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 I'm over here nodding as you're talking. Like it's so true. Whatever that is for you. Again, it's leaning into that and expanding and growing and building that financial muscle so that you can do more. And it's a powerful thing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, what would you say? This is